Welcome to another episode of the Talking Shop podcast. We are deep into season 2. I am Josh from Grand Slam Cards here in Rock Hill, along with Michael from at Medium Rare Cards over on the Gram. And we're here to talk some shop. Michael, how are you? Welcome. We are earlier than normal. Well, we're recording earlier, but will people be seeing this at the normal time?
Thanks.
I know they
Thanks
wait
for making me go ahead and just have to. Okay, let's do that intro again. No, don't tell them we're recording. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to cut that. I'm not going to cut it.
No, I can go back in time and cut it.
Go ahead. You do the intro again. I could see Jacob cracking up. Go.
Well, okay,
Intro.
so they can't. All right, so this is all going to get cut. They can't ask questions or interact with us. They're going to know this is a recorded recording, or otherwise they're going to be commenting, and we're going to be ignoring their comments. So I assume this was kind of common sense.
I cannot wait. I can't wait to clip this.
I'll fire all of you.
Don't worry about it. You know what? Don't go back. This is perfect. Okay. Welcome.
So, what's new with you?
So this is we are recording since you let the cat out of the bag, because you're gonna get some help back with the kids, right?
Today is my wife's birthday, believe it or not. She's in Texas. She did have to fly back for a funeral. And she arrives tonight. So during our normal podcast time, I'll be going to the airport to pick her up.
Priorities.
And then she can go back to being the mom of 5 boys and
6 boys.
Being the glue that holds us all together. So 6 boys, yeah. So that's why we are early. You and I are early, but normal for everyone else.
Fantastic. Anyway. So after our pregame, I should have renamed this episode Kidney Stones and Card Shows. Josh.
So I'm almost 44 years old, and I joke around that I drink more soda or pop or whatever y'all want to call it / Red Bull than any person on planet Earth probably for the last 30 years. I've never had a kidney stone. We talk about it with customers. One of our good friends had one recently and we were laughing in the shop with him about how painful it was. And you know, he was saying his goodbyes to his wife. And so the other day I wake up in the morning, the wife had taken the kids to school, and I rolled over in bed and I thought I racked myself. You know, that feeling down in the depths where you're like, oh, did I roll over wrong or something? And so I sat up and then I sat up on all fours. I said, what? Wait, normally gets less painful after you give it a minute or two. And this just started hurting in my lower back like I've never. My wife was out in the driveway. She just pulled up and I limped out to her in my pajamas. And these words don't ever come out of my mouth, but I said, I think you need to take me to the ER. And she was like, what? And so she grabbed our 3-year-old, threw some clothes on him. I got in the car. And the funniest part was I sat there for a minute in pain. I got out of the car, went back into the house, and I said, we got to go. Something is seriously wrong here. And she said, oh my. And so she flew me to the hospital, dropped me off. I was throwing up in the car. I mean, it was just instantly the worst pain I've ever had. I've yet to meet a kidney stone person that say it wasn't the worst pain they've ever had. So, long story short, about 2 or 3 hours of that in the hospital before it finally apparently moved from my kidney to my gallbladder, and then the pain was instantly gone. And I still felt like crap because they pumped me so full of pain meds to try to calm it, which didn't work, that I was ready to go home, but I was all IV'd up on morphine and every other drug that it was a rough evening just from feeling the effects of that. But no more kidney pain after that. And apparently there's another round where it gets peed out, and I suppose that's not fun, but that hasn't happened yet. So that's where I'm at in my kidney stone. I will now no longer make fun of people that get kidney stones when they say it was the worst pain they've ever heard. And
Well,
our customer that said his final goodbyes to his wife over the phone as he drove himself to the ER. My wife dropped me off at the ER and then went to run the 3-year-old to my parents' house so she could come back and tend to me and not have the young one there. And she got to thinking I dropped Josh off at the ER. I went struggling, limping inside alone. And she drove off and was like, is this the last I'm going to hear from him alive? Because she had no idea what was.
oh yeah, at that point you have no idea. That's right.
So if you've had a kidney
Well,
stone and can vouch for the pain, please comment on this video.
yes.
I want to hear your story now since I've lived through it.
Kidney stone stories in the comments. Leave them in there. We may review those and have a little prize for the most painful one, or at least the most entertaining one. Well, while you were in pain, I was prepping for a card show that
You
I
were.
think I got like a paper cut from that, and so just to sympathize with your pain,
So we're on the same page. Yeah.
yeah, I had to just like a band-aid. It's like right here. It's in a bad spot, right
It's
in a
usually, if it's with
fold.
cards, it's usually like a cardboard cut, which can be bad. I've been putting those 5-row boxes together and cardboard cutted myself.
Well,
No
I
biggie.
was in Spartanburg this weekend at the Spartanburg show. Shout out to Travis, the organizer, Boiling Spring Sports Cards, I believe. Super, super nice guy. Always puts on a great show, always gets a good crowd. And it was steady all day
Really?
long.
Yeah.
Steady
We
all.
haven't had a chance to talk about it, so I'm curious to see how it went.
Yep. And finally, people are starting to ask about and inquire about basketball. Finally, I mean, we're like a week and a half into the playoffs. The Bucks are in trouble. The Warriors seem to be back on track, but it's finally there. And then someone will go on, somebody will go and have 50 and people keep talking about it. But, the NFL takes back over on, I guess, Thursday because the draft. So,
Yep.
and locally, I think we're talking about drafting some kid from a school in Alabama. It's not Auburn, so it doesn't really count. Anyway.
If the Panthers can get this quarterback right, and I don't know the answer to it, they've got some weapons.
Yeah.
If they can get the quarterback right, they'll be sitting pretty good pretty quick.
But Josh, wouldn't you say that that's most teams in the NFL? That quarterback, I talked at length with a lot of people about quarterbacks. I finally put out some of my Russell Wilson cards. I put out that camo rookie. Finally, put that out there. Got questions. Got a lot of conversations. That's a hard job, man. There's only 32 of those jobs, and it is impossible to do that job when you're getting chased by 300-pound men that want to rip your head off.
Yeah.
I can't even.
I almost think like the Patriots are one of those teams that's like, if they get the quarterback right, there's still a lot of holes there. But you're right. Most of the teams, the Colts, and a few of these others, they get the quarterback right.
But back to the card show.
Oh yeah.
Prices were. I mean, I feel like I go in there priced just north of comps because I know I'm gonna get beat up, and then I feel like I could give people deals.
Yep.
Met a couple new folks. Sold. I had a pretty good show. Anytime I can take care of like travel and table fees, everything else is gravy.
Yep.
It's just a chance for me to. And to pick up cards as well. So I picked up a nice card that I'll show for my card from the vault. But and then one more thing before I get to the rundown. By the way, this is the opening rip. Boy, we should have during the podcast last week. We should have just all of us, you, me, and Jacob, should have just jumped on the Target website and bought as much Panini Monopoly games and whatever as we could.
You ain't kidding. You can't find it anywhere from what I hear, right?
Nope. It is a eBay exclusive now. It was a Target exclusive. Now it's an eBay exclusive. Now, that being said, Panini is going to release it on their site. They are going to have it. I don't know if it's going to be the same parallels. Maybe they'll have Panini exclusive parallels.
Yeah.
But it's a lesson learned, guys. So learn from us. When you see something, I mean, let's face it. It's not like we're rolling in money, right? But we were talking what, $45 for the game and $30 for a booster pack or booster blaster thingy.
Yeah. Sounds like it would have been a pretty solid investment.
Not just that. I mean, at the very least, a fun rip. At the very least. And it looks like it's going to hold its value. It looks like the print runs are going to be a little lower than regular Prism, obviously. But, the lesson there is if you get a hunch on a product.
Yep. There's some products that come through the shop where the guys are like, why did you order this product? I said, because the moment I don't, it's going to be the big one everyone's calling about on launch day. Did you get this in stock? So I take a lot of swings on some of this weird stuff. Sometimes.
So let me do the rundown just real quick. I know that this is recorded, it's not live. And for those of you guys who are catching this on the replay, we do miss you. We love the interaction during the show. We just couldn't make that work. So next time, I promise.
Next week.
What you just heard was the opening rip. Then we'll go to what's new in the shop, what's hitting shelves this week. And then, as you guys could see by the title of the episode and the thumbnail, we're going to be going into some Q&A. I was asked some of these questions at the show, and some of these questions I see on forums that I feel like Josh and I could answer. So we're going to do some Q&A, and then we're going to do card from the vault, hit from the shop, and then we're going to wrap it up with crazy stat of the week. But first, Josh, what is hitting shelves this week at Grand Slam? It's a big week. Big week.
Yeah, there's a few nice things for sure. So Wednesday, you've got Bowman Baseball. That's a big release. If you've not heard, this product is going to maybe be a little tougher to get in shops because it sounds like Fanatics is cutting distributor numbers quite a bit. So we're going to have the least amount we've probably ever had. We'll still have some. We'll probably have fill-ins on it as well. So if you miss out getting some in shop on opening day or this week, we'll definitely try our best to keep it in stock as long as we can. That's a great product that's going to be a little tough to get a hold of, it sounds like. A brand new product, 2023 Bowman's Best University Football. So it won't be super expensive, but it's a new Bowman's Best football product. We'll have that on Wednesday. Contenders Optic Football, another big launch. That'll be on Wednesday. Did I miss anything that I told you about? That's Friday, not really anything there.
Donruss Racing, right?
That's on the horizon. I think that's next week. We didn't. Oh, there it is. It says 5/12. So it's on the horizon. I just know I got allocated some of it. So
you're just excited about the allocation.
Guys, for Donruss Racing, I'll have it on launch day. So
there you go. A couple things. So Bowman Baseball, I think what's going to happen is the same thing that happened. This is the rumor. With Update. You know how they said that Update, that the the jumbo boxes is where all the hits were. I think there's going to be a clamoring, or at least they're letting that leak out there so people go buy the jumbo boxes. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then that Bowman's Best University football, well timed because of the draft this week. So
That's gonna be a sweet, fun, not expensive product to open.
Absolutely.
And it probably
so the chase for me, just being an Atlanta guy, the chase for me is Andrew Jones's kid, Drew Jones. So that'll be fun. But there are some other really nice players. Bowman's probably, other than Stadium Club, Bowman's probably my favorite product for the year. That and Bowman Draft. So come out to the shop. If you don't get a chance to get it from the shop, if it sells out, Josh will let you know when he gets another round. And we'd love to see what you pull out of there.
That's maybe a little conspiracy theory that maybe Fanatics is holding back some, sprinkling it out, letting it be tough, forcing distributors to rebuy at a higher price, and then it trickles down to us and then trickles down to the customer. So that's just a conspiracy theory. So, but that would be all right too. That means there's some more coming. I'll at least take that if I have to. But yeah, I know a lot of card shop owners are not happy with the way that this product's being distributed. I've heard through the grapevine that even some card shops that do breaking, their allocations got cut so much they've had to pull down their breaks and refund people because they aren't going to have enough product to fill all their breaks that they normally have for this product. So not cool, Fanatics. Hopefully they'll straighten that out, but don't shoot the messenger.
No kidding. Yeah, hopefully they'll do that. I know they have stood behind the line that they're going to be supportive of local card shops, local hobby shops. So hopefully they'll continue to do.
I hope that proves true. It doesn't look at this point like that very much, but we'll see.
And as soon as I can get a box of Bowman baseball, I'll break it. A little preview break. So look for that on the YouTube channel. Next we have, it's a little bit of a mashup. It's going to be behind the counter and listener questions. So Jacob, if you could go ahead and post that first one, and we'll start ripping through these, and hopefully we can get to all of them. But if not, I'm sure we'll get to them at some point. So hey guys, I've been listening to you guys for over a year now. I got to ask, how do you feel about the sports card hobby right now? Josh, what are your feels? What are your feels when it comes to the sports card hobby?
So there's two sides to this coin for the shop. Traffic is down noticeably. And this is, comparing it to the COVID boom. So it's naturally going to be down from that. But it's kind of like life has returned to normal. And it's enjoyable for that part of it because we still sell out of everything we get in. It's just not this kind of mad overpriced frenzy that it was for a while. So that's the double-sided coin for me. Traffic is down, numbers are still good, and it's just kind of back to earth. And when it's back to earth and feels normal, it just feels better. So I feel like there's this part of some people that got chased off of the hobby because of this price gouging boom that happened that wasn't the fault of anybody but supply and demand. And so maybe some of those people have stepped away during that time where they couldn't afford it because these prices were insane and haven't come back. I'd like to hopefully see them come back. But yeah, I feel good about it right now because it's at a normal, manageable, fun, less expensive hobby than it was for the last couple of years. So it's kind of like pre-COVID with more of a focus on the hobby. It was like, the hobby was kind of hidden before COVID, but still alive and well. And now it's alive and well, but not hidden, if that makes sense. So I really like where it's at right now. Everybody loves the traffic boom that COVID brought, and it was just nonstop all day long, customers but Yeah, so I would take that with the normal prices we have now, and that would be the best of both worlds. But the breaking has got a lot of people discouraged. I know a lot of people that were able to break over the last couple of years have not been able to do that. Ours has slowed down a little bit. But again, we're selling our products out in the shops. That's one reason you see our breaking slow down, because we don't want to pull it off the shelf for local guys to break it online. And I said that from day one. So that's my thoughts. I'd be curious to hear yours more as a customer and a card show vendor.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought. There's two sides to my coin as well. I as a customer, I mean, wow, to be able to buy hobby boxes now of even some other sports other than baseball for
Yeah,
under $300
yeah, or even 200
is
in some cases. Yeah,
yeah, which is awesome. Is fantastic to be able to grade now. There's a special now running, for under $20. That's awesome. And on the selling side, of course, would I like to grade a whole bunch of base, and if I get a 10, I'm going to sell it for $200? I would love that, right? But I have to remind myself of this all the time, especially if I'm having maybe a slow show or things aren't selling for as much as I thought. I am selling a piece of plastic with a piece of cardboard with a picture of a dude on it, and people are giving me well-earned money for this and enjoying it.
yeah,
So, yeah, I'm happy with it. I think, like you said, there's more of the hobby feel to it now, less of a business feel to it.
less of a
And
buy just to flip.
yeah,
You know,
you're,
the flippers have moved on for the most part.
and so I think it's in a good spot. Um, Pricing is continuing to slide on, especially at the ultra high end, to where, and that's going to affect everything. But I think it's this sort of correction needed to happen. It's only
Mm.
good for the hobby, and it's allowing more people to enter the hobby, which is
Yeah.
nice. So, all
Yep.
right, next question.
Yep. That was a good one.
I was listening to another podcast. Shame on you. There are no other podcasts except this one. There are no other
And
podcasts,
WWE ones, but other than that, no.
but other than this one. And they were talking about the Lorcana TCG. Do you guys think it will be a hit with collectors, or just a passing fad? Do you know what the Lorcana is?
So the Disney one, is that the Disney one?
It is.
So we've talked about this in the shop. So I have two sides to this, two thoughts to this. Most of these new TCG games are passing fads. And I've been fooled a couple times in our 6 years where I jump on thinking it's going to be the next Pokemon and it just fizzles out. It's really hard to get a TCG game really, really high off the ground because it takes so many players and people into it. I think they think the Disney one will because it's going to appeal to little children all the way up to people older than us because Disney's been around so long. We all have a connection with it somewhere along those lines. So I kind of hope it does, but I would be surprised if it does just because I've seen too many come and go over the last 5 years. But this one maybe has the chance because of the name behind it and the amount of characters. So that's a super great question. We've been trying to answer that here at the store amongst all of ourselves. But yeah, it's tough to get these TCG games to the heights that they want to get, like Pokemon and Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh.
So my thoughts. Have you seen the cards?
Just a picture here and there, nothing too in depth.
Yeah. So if you see the cards, especially, so the one that caught my eye is is the Elsa one. I mean, the Elsa one, it looks like, I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering, but it looks like it could be in the Magic the Gathering.
Cool.
It's like a darker-ish figure.
Yeah.
Like she looks like she could do some damage, right?
Yeah.
So I think the number one, the artwork has to be beautiful. It can't be sort of hokey.
Or too
And
childish.
yeah, Disney, the intellectual property, the IP of Disney is so strong. And it's unlimited, right?
In the
I mean,
pocket.
they're churning out they're still churning out movies. So, and then there's characters, and then there's sub characters, but they've got a cult following. I mean, just imagine. So right now, I think there's 6. I think there's Mickey Mouse, Elsa, Cruella, and then 3 others. But imagine, I mean, I would love like a little subset, like all the dwarfs, and see what their powers are and what their health is. And then certainly, you know, and you don't even have to play it. It's just going to be just like Pokemon. I just think it's going to be I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a beautiful set. I think the characters are going to be unlimited but still known to the whole world. I mean, could you imagine the Toy Story set that comes out of this?
And the Star Wars. I mean,
And the Star Wars. I mean, the Buzz Lightyear and the Woody coming out of these sets, they're going to be fantastic. I think, um, I mean, and right now the thing's got legs. I mean, yeah, they've dipped a little bit because they got up to like $8,000 for the original set, graded. But I think this has, um, legs, and I've just gotten scooped here. Breaking
yeah.
news.
We got
On the
breaking news
pod.
on the Talking Shop podcast. The Aaron Rodgers trade is now official to the New York Jets. Well, it's about time. Let me refresh ESPN here.
All right. So this is going to circumvent a little bit of the questions that we had planned, but what effect does this have on his cards?
Oh, it's going to be
then good. What's the domino effect? So Aaron Rodgers cards, Jordan Love cards.
Yep. Well, here's the other thing. So it says, let me give the details. They agreed to deal Aaron Rodgers and their 2023 first round pick, which is a 15th overall, and a 2023 fifth round pick to the Jets. Let's see, to the Jets for New York's 2023 first round pick, 2023 second round pick, 2023 sixth round pick, and a conditional 2024. If Rodgers plays 65% of the plays this season, which you got to expect he probably will. Joe Namath was number 12 for the Jets. Namath gave Rodgers his blessing. The Jets quarterback is expected to wear number 8, the number he wore at California in college. Wow. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. So that manga card, did you see that manga card I posted online that we picked up here at the shop?
I did.
Probably get some legs here pretty soon.
I did. You know what?
The domino effect will also hit the Sauce Gardners and the Breece Halls and because those
Garrett Wilsons.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
The Jets might be a problem next year.
That'd be fun. That'll be fun. I hope it works out. I'm not a Jets or Rodgers fan. I'm not a hater on either, but that'll be fun. When the Jets will be good, that's good for everybody, I think.
Well, a couple things.
Jordan Love, it's a shot.
I was just about to say that if you've been the guy that has been waiting, just sitting on Jordan Love cards, waiting for them to pop, today's your day. Congratulations. Thanks for being patient and hanging in there. And you know what? Who's the kid? Who's the receiver that was popping off last year? Christian Watson. So you may see a little bit of a bump there. So and then depending on who either team gets in the draft on Thursday, Lots of buzz can only be good for the hobby.
Unless
Fragile.
unless Green Bay, they get New York's first round 13th pick overall. Now, if Green Bay grabs a quarterback with that 13th pick, Jordan Love collectors would have to just. It doesn't mean that 13th round pick will start, but it just means they just aren't 100% sold on Love as the future. But
Thanks for planting that seed.
hopefully, I
Yeah, now,
jinxed it.
yeah, no kidding.
I got rid of a banger of a Jordan Love card. I had an XRC rookie out of Select that I got graded that was a 10, and I sold that thing for probably peanuts when his stuff was just nothing, because it just didn't look like he was ever gonna. All the reports on ESPN and all the podcasters saying this guy just doesn't have it.
Right.
And then he looked good the last he played, and I hope he plays good. So
All right, let's do one more question. Let's do the one about ridiculous offers. Curious, what's the most ridiculous offer you've ever
Ooh.
gotten for one of your cards? Did you take it or reject it? Gosh.
That's a great question. When you do enough on eBay, you get some pretty stupid offers.
Yeah.
Um, I've been blessed in the store that, I've turned down a few offers probably, but they haven't been so ridiculous they worthy of making a podcast. Boy, I don't know if I should. You know what I mean? So I can think of one time.
Come on, out the person. No one's listening to this. We've
Here's
got
what
like
I'll
10
do.
people watching this.
We had
I
an
want
autograph.
first, last name. I want social
Nope.
security number. I want their home
Nope.
address so that
I
we
got to
can.
protect the customer and my
Oh,
business. But I
man,
did
come on.
have an autographed football helmet that had sat in the shop for a long time that was not for sale. Customer made an offer on it. I said, well, yeah, for that, I would sell it. And so that happened once. And then a trade one time, guy wanted a card in my case. He said, would you trade for it? And it was my personal card before all the cards were my personal cards. And I said, no, that one I just want to sell. Well, he opened up his binder, pointed to a Mike Trout update rookie and said, would you trade for that? And I said, well, yeah, for that card, I would trade it. That was before COVID, before that card really went nuts. I sent it off to get graded. It got a 10, and I sold it for a huge amount during COVID. But those are the only two that really stick out, where it's kind of like I turned down the offer and then they made a real offer that I was like, well, I'd be foolish to turn that down. So, but never so low in person except on eBay that just made me go, really?
Yeah.
So, but you do more shows than I do, so maybe you've got a good answer.
It's funny. And this is, don't get me on my soapbox, but this is the society we live in, is that people that are online, if it's texting, if it's through an app, they feel like they could say anything to you
Sure. Yeah.
and get away with it. Like there's there's no empathy there. They just could do. And yeah, if I had $1 for every ridiculous offer on eBay I get every day, it's crazy. Like I'll have a card, and even on eBay, I'm just slightly north or right around the last comp, and then I'll get like the other day I had a card listed for $150 and I got a $10 offer. And so I countered with it was 150, so I countered with 149.99.
Yeah, you got two there.
And then they countered with $11. So they're not getting the hint. So what I did was I went and found the same card that was listed for $5 less than mine. Sent them that link. And I said, please go buy it from this person. Bug this person first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, folks,
I thought maybe the story was going to be like 12, 148, 13, 147, and maybe you eventually met at like $100.
No. But I will continue to engage unless I'm either A, having a bad day, or B, need to teach maybe they're a new eBayer and they just think that that's the way that things go. Now, I get negotiations. I get that. But
Do we have to admit when we've made a stupid offer and paid a stupid amount for a card? Because I've done that
yeah, I do that
way too many times.
I do that every other.
Well, I don't know if I've told this on the podcast. I bought a lot of cards off of someone, and in that lot this was pre-COVID, this 4 years ago, an Alex Bregman MLB logo man, the logo shield, this one of one, supposed to be Boa. So I threw it on eBay for 300 or best offer, and I hadn't walked away from the computer, and I heard ching.
You have told this one before,
They
but I still love hearing it.
They didn't even make an offer. I was like, I know I listed that too small, too little. The owner that sold me the card immediately texted me and said, "Did you just sell that Bregman card for $300?" And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "That's like a $600 or $700 card." He said, "Now I know the guy that bought it because that's how he knew so quickly. His friend had seen it and been scoping for that card and always."
Right.
And so I messaged the guy and I said, "Enjoy the deal. I'm an idiot." And he said, "Well, if it makes you feel any good, I used to own this card and I'll never sell it again. It's my favorite card."
Oh,
and
that's
so
cool.
like, that does make me feel better. So it
happy.
belongs in a PC for life. But
well, we've got plenty more questions. We're going to save those for other episodes. But when we go back to the live version of this, please, we would rather answer questions live. So join us next time live. But we're going to move on to card from the vault.
Ooh.
Josh, card from the vault.
Mine is cheating, like we talked about. Mine's card from the showcase. So this is for sale down at the shop. It's not cheap. It's population 1. It's not even a rookie, but it's sweet. Second year. This is a Clemson Tiger.
Oh, wow.
You may have heard of him. Trevor Lawrence. It's the Tiger stripe.
That's not just a color match. That's an everything match there.
It's an everything match. So color match, team match, PSA 10. Look it up. There's your barcode on the back. It's the only one in existence that's a PSA 10, but it's on our eBay page. I mean, we're asking $1,000 for it. So it's hard to price it, but that's the price on it. There's always wiggle room, but I thought that card needs to be showed off on the podcast because it's so unique and it looks really cool. So.
All right, so mine is a quarterback as well on the complete other side of the spectrum. So I picked this up at the show in a trade, sort of a cash card trade. I don't know where this kid's gonna end up. His heart must have sank when the Panthers traded for the first pick, and then they were like, "It is Matt Corral." It's impeccable RPA on card out of 25. I'm rooting for this kid.
Yep.
It seems like he's got all the talent in the world. It's just he may end up being one of those quarterbacks that does not get a shot just because of the circumstances and no other reason. So,
well, Mason usually watches the podcast. Maybe he'll watch the recording. He brought in a checkerboard Matt Corral rookie. Wanted to trade it, wanted to sell it to me, and I said, I just can't. Yeah. Mason, if you're watching, I loved that card. I told him that day, I said, I love that card, but I just can't. Too many Dalton's there. Andy Dalton's there too, right? He's probably ahead of Matt and behind whoever they draft, probably. So, yeah, I'm pulling for him too. I liked that checkerboard prism. Whew.
Oh yeah. So that's my card from the vault. Let's go through some hits from the shop and then get out of here.
Yeah, we've had
after a crazy stat of the week.
We've had some sweet stuff hit in the last few days, and we're going to pop them up on the screen and guide you through some of them. First one. So you look at that card, nothing super special. It's just David Bell, but that one's numbered to 10, so we thought that was pretty cool. It's hard to see in the picture, but that's out of the new Donruss Clearly. I believe the next card is a little better because it's a quarterback out of the same product. There it is, Desmond Ridder. So customer hit both of those cards out of Donruss Clearly. We've got up next. Jacob, you need faster fingers. So you're saying, how did this get pulled from the shop? This is a 2012 Prism Anthony Davis. This came out of one of the Stitches and Slabs boxes where you get an autographed basketball jersey and one buyback card. That was the card. The Lakers are still in the playoffs and they're winning the series, so maybe that card will continue to rise. The next picture should be the jersey that was in that same box. So the customer got that card and this jersey. Old Sean Kemp. Pretty sweet. Next, this was a box of Leaf Pure. We may have to remove that card from the vault logo, and I want to so you can see that bottom left autograph. Michael, that's your boy, Erling Haaland. It's hard to see, but that card's numbered to 7. The other autographs there, you see Jerry West, the NBA logo, and you've got Malik Willis at the top, and then Javier Mascherano. That was the hey, we gave you an Erling Haaland and a Jerry West. You're getting this guy. So, but the customer bought that box today, and those were his hits. Thought that was pretty sweet.
Nice.
Erling Haaland stuff is hot. Same product, different customer. Mike Tyson auto. That's out of 3 out of Leaf Pure. Thought that was pretty cool. Almost all of the cards out of Leaf Pure. So this was pulled out of a Topps update box this weekend. That's the chaser there, one of the big chasers. That's a Julio Jurod rookie auto out of Topps Chrome. Customer sent me this and said, looky there, pulled this from your shop. At least that's what he told me, so I'm taking his word. Kenny Pickett, Contenders rookie on-card auto. This customer also pulled, he said, a Jalen Hurts auto number to 25. Hopefully we'll get a picture of that soon. Look at this card. The SSP, the gold short print, Michael Harris, pulled out of a hobby box. He said this was the last pack of the box.
That's crazy.
Had this card in it. So that's a monster short print Michael Harris card. I think we've got some more still. What do we got next? Oh, check this out. A 1-of-1. If you're a Rams fan, definitely during the greatest show on turf, you probably need this in your collection. This is a quad autograph. Dick Vermeil, Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, and Isaac Bruce. 1-of-1. Also out of Leaf Pure. Look at this. A die cut number to 150 Wander Franco rookie auto.
Nice.
Out of Bowman's Best. A beauty. You love this. You love these camo. This is the digital camo Desmond Ritter out of Prism. That's a banger of a card, and we hope he has a good year for sports card world's sake. This customer hit 2 Kenny Pickett crunch times. Those are not easy to hit. And in the span of a day or two, buying some blasters, he hit both of those. Congrats to him. We go Leaf Pure. These cards you can take a picture of about any time. Tim Brown, old school Raiders. And then don't we have a, what's the next one? Chad Ocho Cinco, number to 35. And is that it, Jacob? Was that the last one? That's the last one. So if you pull a card from the shop and I haven't seen it yet, send me a picture of it. We can put it on the pod. So been a good week, and I'm sure there's always people that come back to the shop and tell me what they pull, and we haven't seen it. So those are just the ones we've seen.
Awesome. Before we get to crazy stat of the week, just want to remind everybody, card night, you can see it across the bottom there, the ticker there, is on May 6th. Tables are selling. I will get a number on how many are left, but just want to stress, if you don't get a table, please come out. Admission is free. Come out. It's going to be an evening card show. I know that there's a card show in Charlotte earlier that day, but
on down. Yep.
we the reason why we're spinning this up is because we know that kids have soccer games, baseball games, all kinds of things to do during the day, and then I see these guys come into card shows like at like with 15 minutes left because their day just ended with their
Yeah.
family, and they're just sitting there just trying to frantically looking for a card to complete a set, or frantically looking for something, a chaser, or even some blacks to rip. This solves that. It starts at 4, goes till 9, free admission. Come out, it's for a great cause. So just wanted to plug that. Josh, take us out of here with crazy stat of the week.
Always a good time. Yep. So I have two. One's just they're kind of quick and easy, but it's almost like it wouldn't be a crazy stat of the week if we didn't talk about Tony Gwynn in some regard. So this I thought was pretty crazy. So Willie Mays was a lifetime 301 hitter. That's unbelievable, right? Tony Gwynn was a lifetime 302 hitter with 2 strikes. So that's tough. It's tough to be a 200 hitter probably with 2 strikes. So I thought, ooh, that would be a great one for crazy stat of the week. I thought, which was one more. Bear with me. If not, I'm going to do a little clap, and Michael's going to edit this out. And that, my friends, is a crazy stat of the week. Tony Gwynn
Awesome.
doing it like normal.
If you haven't already, like, subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment below. Thank you. Josh, thanks for being here. Jacob, thank you for producing. Yep. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Or at the shop. Come and see me. Bye.